Journeys are step by step. So if you only get enough courage for today, if you only get enough courage for this moment, if you only get enough courage for the next step, then you will be absolutely fine. So today we're going to be talking about, getting rid of the I can't afford reason. We're going to be talking about 8 other types of revenue. Some of these you may have heard of, some of these you don't know how to get, some of these may be foreign to you, but it's 8 of them. 8 other types of revenue, what I like to call OPM. You remember when what was that group say? You down with OPP? Yeah, you know
OPP.
me.
OPP, yeah.
You down with OPM? Yeah, you know me. Other people's money that we can use to start, build, or scale your business. Okay. And so, with that being said, uh, money is everywhere. Let me just start at the beginning. Money is everywhere. God bless me to work at a um, Fortune 100 firm so that I could see just how much, I used to think money only moved on the 1st and the 15th. I used to think it took a payday to move money. And then it really moved on the 3rd, y'all, when people got their social insecurities.
Mhm.
I used to think money had to have a certain corporate spin to it in order for it to come to you. And then when I started working in Chase, what I realized is that money moves 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It does not sleep. It does not rest. There is no shortage. There's somebody somewhere, and it's not just what people use to buy what they need. It's predominantly used for people to buy what they want. There's always somebody somewhere spending some money on something that you would call frivolous, on something that you would call a luxury, on something that you would call excessive, on something that you would call spendthrift. There's always somebody somewhere spending money. Now, that being said, you need to always be somewhere asking for some. Did anybody catch that? Because if you're not always somewhere asking for some, when this money is being passed out, you're going to be remiss in getting yours. Now, what I realize, some people don't want help. There's this, it's called the relationship triangle. And I want y'all to think about this, and I want you to real quick tell me where you are on this relationship triangle. If you're embarrassed, you ain't got to speak. There's 3 sides, okay? There's rescuer. Let me just go and raise my hand. There's victim, and there's persecutor. It's one, somebody always starting mess. That's the persecutor. There's somebody somewhere saying, why not me? That's the victim. And then there's always somebody saying, let me help you, even to the people that don't need help, even when they can't help themselves. And that's me. I'm a rescuer. And the first step to getting out of that triangle is realizing who you are. So, regardless as to who you are today, realize you can no longer continue to say, I can't afford to build a business, because there's too many ways out there for you to start, build, and scale your business, no matter what your current situation is. Millions of dollars of support. So let's talk about them. Number one, and I'm going to start with an untraditional one, which is crowdfunding. I'm not talking about that GoFundMe that you create thinking that if everybody on Facebook gives you $1, okay, you got 5,000 friends. I'm going to create a GoFundMe because if everybody gives me $1, I'd have $5,000. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So I'm not talking about that GoFundMe that you create and say, I'm going to create this GoFundMe because I want to go back to college. Can everybody put $5 in my GoFundMe? So that I hate GoFundMe. Is anybody else hate a GoFundMe? I hate funeral GoFundMes because that to me, you guilting me into putting money into. If you didn't prepare for your loved one's passing, it's not my fault or problem.
Those are ones that I don't like. So I mean that the GoFundMe for a funeral, like that's one of my pet peeves. You're supposed to be grieving, not raising money.
And then you want to put it over here in my lap. And let me tell you what's wrong with that. What's wrong with that is however that person lived their life, they lived. However, you live your life that you wasn't prepared for that person to pass away. You live. But it's not my fault or my issue that you don't have the money to lay that person to rest. Now, what I know about funerals, because I've had unfortunate place to be in a position to bury 3 of the family and my women in my family. You can get a cremation and a funeral service for less than $1,000. So if y'all didn't prepare for white horses and a wagon and a band and a $10,000 repast with all you can eat and all you can drink, that's not my fault and not my problem. If y'all didn't prepare for a solid gold casket or for them to be buried in a Cadillac like Elvis, or that's not my fault and that's not my problem. And then you want me to share it. Can you share my GoFundMe with the people you know? No, I can't. Because where are the relationships? This is what I ask people outside my community. And this is why community is critical. And then I'm going to talk about the right way to do a crowdfunding. I ask people in my community, where are the people that you hang out with? Because if you wasn't hanging out over here before something jumped off, then why do you expect me? Because I know I can't help everybody. That's a realization I've come to. I feel like God assigns people to people for a reason. So if I take care of my community, what community have you invested your time and energy and money? I can't send everybody groceries. I can't send everybody a few dollars. I can take care of the people that are around me on a day-to-day basis that take care of me. So where are the people you go out to eat with? Where are the people you go drinking with? Where are the people you get Christmas gifts from? Where are those people? Send them the link. I'm going to let y'all speak on that real quick because I only think it's right. Then I'm going to tell you the right way to do a crowdfunding campaign.
Coach, I can tell you where they at. They in the back of the bus. They can't even hear you say bus stop. They can't hear you say help. They're in the back of the bus chattering. That's all they doing.
So it's up to us to build those relationships that are fruitful both ways. Don't have those relationships where the people only call you for help. And the minute you need a piece of bread, a cup of sugar, a couple of eggs, a carton of milk, they are conspicuously absent. So let's talk about the right way, the business way to do crowdfunding. And we're talking about, guys, the 8 types of other people's money that you need to start, grow, or scale your business. The right way to do crowdfunding, and I'm going to give it to you in a couple steps. Number 1, it needs to be your network. The people you have sown seed into, the people you've prayed for and have prayed for you, the people that you've given rides to and have picked you up, It's got to be your network. That can be your church members, your coworkers. It doesn't matter who it is, but it's got to be the people you know. And I'll tell you, about my first crowdfunding exercise in just a minute. I think my first time I did a business initiative to raise money, I think I raised almost $10,000, but I'll tell you how to do it. Because the second thing is you have to have something in exchange. The first time I wrote my book, matter of fact, I didn't write one book, I wrote two. I invited all my coworkers to my book signing, all my church members, all my girlfriends. It probably was 200-300 people came through there in the course of 3 or 4 hours. And I had 2 books for sale. You could buy one for 20 or 2 for 30. My mama was my cashier. The girls was the baggers. Mr. Troy was security. My best friend was the caterer. And Tyler was the unloader and loader of the car. My family was the backbone of that initiative. I made close to $10,000 that night. My friend donated the food. Another one of my girlfriends donated the decorations. Another one of my girlfriends bought the cake. This was a crowdfunding initiative done for and by the crowd. But at no point did I ask them to give me anything. At every point, I said, I have a book that's for sale, and I would appreciate it if you bought it. But these people didn't mind spending $20 on a book. It was free to get in. They ate good. They drank good. I gave them something in exchange. So when you're thinking about your crowdfunding campaign, and I'm getting ready to build a crowdfunding campaign, you guys will be blessed to be on the inside and get to watch it. There's going to be levels of gifts that I'm going to give away in exchange for a contribution. Did this help anybody? Don't ever try to do any kind of crowdfunding and say, I'm just going to ask for money. That's begging. That is electronic begging to me. If you have a GoFundMe and you're not offering something in exchange, to me, that's the equivalent of electronic begging. I know situations are dire sometimes. Guys, that's why you got a plan. Can I tell everybody something? And I hope I'm not too bold. And guys, we're talking about 8 different ways to get money to grow, scale, or build your business so you can stop saying you can't afford. We all know we live, and we all know at some point we're going to die. We all know we don't know when. That being said, to say that somebody passed away unexpectedly is a misuse of words. Am I correct or incorrect?
You're correct. We all got to go that way.
You're correct. Because at some point coming into this situation, we knew we was not going to be here forever. So if you can't even keep $1,000 put away, and I tell my family, don't do no pomp and circumstance while I'm gone. If you didn't do it while I was here, and I ain't going to be around to see it, what is you pomp and circumstancing for?
I'm with you.
My grandma used to always say, baby, give me my flowers. And if I didn't send my grandmother a plant every quarter, if I didn't send my grandmama $20, $25 a week for her to go eat with her little girlfriends, my grandmama says, give me my flowers, baby, when I can smell them. We've got to do a better job of being prepared. That's on us. But with a real crowdfunding campaign, number one, it needs to be your network. 2, you need to give something in exchange. And 3, before you do a crowdfunding initiative, You need to make sure you call out the people that you've sown a seed into. If you have not sown a seed, somebody help me real quick. If you have not, let me tell you what seed sowing looks like in case anybody's curious. First and foremost, seeds are sown in private. If I sow a seed, don't nobody know but me and the money person. They got to know for tracking and approval, of course, because they know if I didn't have a pit bull, I'd give it all away. So I always got to appeal my case to Miss Chanel and say, this Miss Chanel, I want to do such for such and such. Okay? Other than that, it ain't nobody else's business. Seed sowing, the right seed sowing, whether you're feeding somebody on the streets, whether you're sending somebody some groceries across the country. Now, if they choose to testify not about you, but about how the Lord sent you. There's a book by Bruce Wilkinson. It's called God's Pocket. And God's Pocket says everything you got in your pocket belongs to the Lord. Amen. So when you see a need, you're supposed to act as he would and cover that need. Now, that being said, everybody's need ain't for you to cover. Amen. And all needs don't get covered with money. Sometimes you need to show somebody, because see, I'm not going to send you a fish dinner, but so many times, because I need to teach you how to fish. So number one, crowdfunding. The right way to do crowdfunding. You got to have a network of people around you. Could be your coworkers, your church parishioners, your community people. Number two, you got to have something in exchange. You got to say, look, if you put $20 into my crowd fund, you get this. You put in 50, you get this. You put in 100, you get this. Number three, it only works. It only works when you've had people around you that you've sown seed into. Now there's some different variants to that, like the dude that said he wanted to create some potato salad, and all them people thought it was funny, so they donated a couple $100,000 to his crowd fund. You know, but that's not gonna be us, y'all. It's not gonna be you. So that's the right way to do crowdfunding, number one. Number two, guys, right about now, and I see Mr. Daniel Betancourt in the audience. Right about now, the government has opened up their second round of funding for small business owners. Shame, shame, shame on you if you don't sit still long enough to not only understand what you need to do to qualify, but secondly, if you don't take advantage of the revenue. And Mr. Betancourt, if you're in a position to come up and talk about that, raise your hand, and I'll have my moderators come up. These financial institutions have been empowered by the government to identify underprivileged, disenfranchised, heavily impacted small business owners to help them keep their businesses open. Good afternoon, Mr. Betancourt. If you introduce yourself and tell them where you're from.
I'm happy to, but I jumped in this room because I love to listen to you. You know that. I'm the CEO of a community lending institution. We lend to Black and brown businesses in the Philadelphia to Harrisburg area, north to Allentown, Pennsylvania. And I'm happy and honored to be here with you, Coach.
Absolutely. And I remember the last time you were here, I meant to have my people reach out to you on LinkedIn. It ain't over. It ain't over. But, you know, I'm just discouraged by the number of us who are not putting our hands up to get this PPP money, that are not putting our hands up to get this emergency disaster loan money, who are not putting our hands up to get this shuttered business venue money, these micro loans offered by the SBA. I'm appalled at how many of us don't even know about the millions and about to be millions more that Biden's about to sign up that's giving this money away. Or even better yet, are not in position to receive it because we haven't laid the ground with the right paperwork in our businesses to qualify officially as a business. Do you want to speak on that, sir?
Happy to, but if you let personal privilege, let Mr. Carl Singleton up because he can speak about ninth way to raise money. He does it through diversity contracting. I'm going to butcher it, but that brother needs to be up on stage because he has something to say. But I'll talk about PPP. And last time I talked about some of the myths, I'm happy to do that again.
Absolutely. If you could do that now, we did bring Mr. Carl Singleton up as well. Guys, if you haven't shared this broadcast, if you're not listening on pins and needles, but I don't know what to tell you guys. If you haven't registered for the Fight for Your Money boot camp that's happening February 9th to February 12th, we're going to have some amazing speakers on deck to show you how to fight for your money. You got to stop limiting your resources to the body of knowledge that you're with. And understand this world is so full of knowledge that if you're not literally fighting to get that next level of knowledge, you're going to get left out. And the link to that Fight for Your Money boot camp, it's a 4-day boot camp. It's only $20.21. We want you to have the information, but I believe in skin in the game. I don't believe in people sitting in my face getting information that I got at a cost for free. I believe that if it's important to you, you'll sow a little seed for yourself to have access to the information that cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn. So I learned that a long time ago. So yes, sir, Mr. Carl, if you can introduce yourself as well.
Thank you, Dan, for putting me on the spot, and I'm just trying to listen in. But I am Carl Singleton here in the capital city of Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, where we've developed or established the Pennsylvania Diversity Coalition, which is a nonprofit organization that is comprised of memberships of individuals, for-profits, nonprofits, sole proprietors, etc. What we do is we go wherever there is public dollars being spent. We go and engage decision makers to make sure there's equity with regards to how those contracts are engaged in minority and particularly Black owned and controlled, Black, brown owned and controlled businesses. And so women owned and controlled. So ownership is one thing, but we want to make sure it's not a pass through or a sham corporation. So we want to see the accounts, meaning you're in control of the banking. And we've been successful at leveraging partnerships and relationships throughout the Commonwealth, going after public dollars, contracting, etc. So I'll rest my voice for a second, hear what Dan has to say, and then come back on and talk about what we do with banks and ensuring that we have mutually beneficial relationships with lending institutions.
And guys, let me tell you how critical that is to moving the zeros and the commas as it relates to individuals such as minority-owned businesses and women-owned businesses. Right around August, September, we were invited to participate in an initiative called Share the Mic and the Money, where businesses realized that African-American women-owned businesses didn't get the same opportunities sometimes as Caucasian women-owned businesses. And these were the Caucasian women that said, we want to help our African-American sisters out. So we're going to host an event, not just Share the Mic. Y'all may have heard about Share the Mic, where a lot of Caucasian influencers brought on African-American influencers to help them build their following. But this initiative was called Share the Mic and the Money. And we were invited to participate. 40 women were invited to participate in order to pitch for their share of over $40 million in contracts. I'm excited to say we were chosen to receive one of those largest contracts. Here's the thing. They taught us how to pitch and how to get in front of these big companies and how to ask for not 10,000, not 100,000, but millions of dollars. Now, I've made multiple $1 millions a year on the internet, not in 1 year. Hello? And not from one client, not with one check, and not all once at a time. Can somebody say amen to that? So the opportunity or even the knowledge that an opportunity like that existed blew my mind. And so once I learned that, I quickly ran back to my community. And one of our initiatives this year is to get every single one of my clients minority and women business owned. Every single one of them will get their certification to go for government contracts. If you're not in a community that's moving you like that, you need to. You need to be. You gotta be, because we can't keep getting left out of the conversation as it relates to these multiple millions of dollars that's being given away. So that's definitely number 9. I should have had it on my list. But diversity contracting, let me explain that to you real quick. My mentor is in a AT&T incubator. She said that AT&T is looking for African American, minority, women-owned businesses to do business with. But unfortunately, when they reach out to us and they understand, it's because I didn't have the same upbringing as you. I didn't have the same help as you. I don't have the same connection as you. We're not ready to do business at that level. So they said, okay, understanding that, we gonna help you get ready. We gonna help you understand what you need to do to have a capability statement, what you need to do to be able to do a risk analysis in your business. All the things that we require for you to get one of these multi-million-dollar contracts, we're gonna show you how to get it. So again, that's that level of, I don't know if everybody knows that this is a multi-million-dollar conversation. If you do, ping some people into this room on Clubhouse, share this initiative on Facebook, Periscope, wherever you are, Twitter. You're not going to run into conversations like this every day. You may be afraid of this money, but trust and believe it's there. They're literally begging to give it to us. And we are remiss if we don't put our names in the hat. I took my clients the other night and walked them through how to put their names in the hat for a $100,000 pitch. A grant, money you don't have to pay back. What would you do with $100,000 in your business? How would that help you move the needle to the next level? I want to open your eyes to the possibility. And again, if you haven't applied, if you haven't registered for the Fight for Your Money boot camp that's happening February 9th through the 12th, go to bit.ly/moneyfight21, or you can click on the link in my Instagram bio and go straight there. The tickets are $20.21. I give your $20 back in 20 more. If you sit in that audience for 4 days and you don't move the money in your business, I give your money back in $20 more. Don't sleep on the opportunity to learn something that's outside of your sphere of influence. Because if you don't move with millionaires every day, I promise you, some of the conversations, some of the resources, some of the opportunities, they will blow your mind. So I'm going to put some people in front of you that you're not used to hearing from, and I'm going to show you some things on paper you're not used to seeing, like $1 million with your name next to it. Hello? So, Mr. Betancourt, I'm gonna turn it over to you, sir.
All right. Thanks again, Coach. Just a couple comments, macro comments about why the government's printing money right now for small businesses. And we all know the talk about the federal stimulus dollars not getting to Black and brown businesses. I mean, that's nothing that folks in this room don't know. First, let me just say why they're doing it. There's $400 billion available for another round for PPP, the SBA's basically loan forgivable program. The reason why they're doing that is they know our economy's in trouble, and it's a de facto state bailout. What they're doing is they know the states can't handle all the unemployment requests, and so this is a way for them to subsidize the states, because the states can't print money, right? They can't. They have unbalanced budgets. The federal government can't print money. So how does the small business come in? Well, they know that you have employees, or that if you're self-employed, you are the employee. They want to get money to you. It's that simple. The problem is there's too many myths out there. We just need to understand that the government wants to grant this money to us. They're calling it forgivable, but it is a grant. One of the issues they did, they pushed us out through all the banks in America. That was the vehicle the SBA wanted to choose. And all of the policy that banks have before COVID turned out to be de facto discriminatory, because in last year, we know round 1 and 2, they made you have a relationship, or you're a client, or you're this or that. And everyone on this call knows that disproportionately hurts people of color. That's the background. We all know that. So here's the myth. One is that people think they have to have employees. And Coach, last time, a lot of people in the room, when I spoke, thought that was the case. You don't have to have any employees. If you file a Schedule C, your net income is your payroll. And the example that I used last time, simple math, if you want to know what you qualify for, it's essentially 3/12 of your net income. But I'll give you the exact math. If you make $12,000, the government's saying we're going to give you 2.5 months as a grant. So 12 divided by 12,000 divided by 12 is you make $1,000 a month. That's your payroll, and they're going to give you 2.5 times that. That's 2,500. Coach, it's that simple. But I think we hear all this noise out there. I just want everyone to know, if you file a Schedule C or a corporate return, and you have enough money that 2.5 months is worth you applying, go ahead and do that. I'm not trying to make business, but my organization, it's right here. You can go on there and apply anywhere in the nation, but there's many institutions that you can apply for. That's it.
And I want to talk about this too. I want to talk about good money and bad money. Okay. Even if you got the PPP money and they decided later, well, you don't fit the criteria, we're going to make you pay it back. It is so much more affordable than any type of money you're carrying right now. It's cheaper than your car loan interest rate. I can guarantee you it's cheaper than any credit card interest rate you got in your wallet. The only thing that might compare is your mortgage loan and your student loan interest rate, maybe, depending on when you got and where you got your house. Guys, this is good money that you can use to invest to start, grow, and scale your business. Everybody was impacted by COVID. You can't say you weren't. There were some things you coulda, woulda, shoulda done differently had COVID not come. So stop turning down these opportunities. I want to say something real quick. If anybody asked me, Coach, and I was on a panel with women that historically earn seven figures a year. It's myself and 4 other women. And they said, what's the one thing that you guys have in common that you can tell us about making $1 million or more a year? And one of the things I said, and every woman on that panel agreed with me, in order for you to make 7 figures, you're going to have to spend 10 to 20% of that. It's going to take you 10 to 20% of that in payroll. It's going to take you 10 to 20% of that in marketing, in resources, technology, automation, business knowledge. Please don't forget expertise and expert help. So you may say, well, Coach, I don't have $100,000 right now. I don't have $200,000 right now. Get you 10 from the government, or get you 3 from the government. Invest that and bring home 30. Take 10 out of that 30, invest that and bring home 100. Invest that 100. Take that 100, invest 20 of that, and bring home 200. That's how you start to work it. But when you don't put money back into your business, and I'm going to open up the stage for anybody, if you want to come up and ask about PPP money, you want to ask Mr. Daniel or myself on Facebook, Periscope, in the Zoom room, go ahead and ask us your question. But it doesn't make sense to say you can't afford help when the government is literally giving money away. And all you have to do to make sure you qualify is make sure that your business is structured as a business. So raise your hand if you got questions. You got questions in the chat. Let us know if you got questions on Facebook. Let us know. Good morning, Erica. Welcome to the stage in Clubhouse. You have a question or comment?
Hi, good afternoon. I have been following you, Donnell, learned about you and your services from other Clubhouse rooms you've done. So I'm actually very, very excited to be on the stage with you. So thank you very much for having me on your platform. So thank you for taking my question. I just wanted to present to you what I have already set up, and I'm wanting to just basically get your feedback on what do you think the best next steps are for me. So I have two businesses. One, I have a nonprofit organization that I established back in September, and I also just established a for-profit janitorial or cleaning service. Just not too long ago, I actually just established it, and I don't have a lot of startup capital yet. But I wanted to apply for some of the money that I'm learning about. So I just wanted to, and I'm late to the call. I saw that you were on, so I just wanted to jump in. I just came to the room, so forgive me if you've already went through, a lot of this already. So I just wanted to one say with my nonprofit and my for-profit. The title of my I want to say it's a franchise, but it's My Extended Hands is basically the name of my business. The My Extended Hands is the nonprofit portion that allows me to do financial services, where I do like career coaching, helping to motivate folks to go out of maybe if they want to get into entrepreneurship, or if they want to, basically use their experience for, basically transferable experience. Maybe they want to get promoted, or they want to go into a different realm of their career, or different things like that, basically helping them get to their next level in their career. And that is nonprofit. That's what I want to do.
Why?
Kind of, on my, just for free. Just I want to be able to,
Why?
That.
Are you rich?
No, no, ma'am. Well, that's part of what. So I have 16 years of banking experience. I'm currently now occupying a seat in corporate banking, where the crux of my experience comes from retail banking experience. So, like when folks would come into the bank and they would open up a checking account, I would be able to analyze their situation.
I'm asking your question. I'm asking this question seriously, because guys, whether you know it or not, it takes just as much time, energy, and effort to build and grow a nonprofit for no money as it takes to build and grow a for-profit. I'm just now establishing a nonprofit as part of my tax shelter. I've gotten to the point that my for-profit runs very good without a lot of focus. So now I can focus on giving back. How do you focus on giving back before you're in a position to give? That's my question to you, Miss Erica.
Well, what I usually do is I allow myself the time myself the time to give, like when I'm able to give folks that time outside of my actual like work, because I still actually work,
Right.
like,
So you haven't even freed yourself yet.
no.
So all your time, you owe it to your 50-year-old self, you owe it to your 60-year-old self, you owe it to your 70-year-old self to be spending all your time right now getting free.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. So I'm right now, my whole idea is I'm preparing an exit strategy. Like, I don't plan on working my corporate job forever. Like, my idea is I want to give myself 24 months to be off of my job. So I want to be able to get things situated to where I can, you know, exit properly to where my for-profit is doing what it's going to do, but I want to be able to really go into the marketplace and really put all of my effort and energy into my nonprofit. That's really what I really.
But baby, you gotta, are you listening to what I'm saying? Because see, when y'all get on these stages, first of all, I want you to limit how long, and I learned this from Pastor Jay, so I apologize for not saying it up front. Give us bite-sized snippets of what you want. Because it don't take me but about 20 seconds of you talking for me to know what I'm going to tell you. I've been doing this a long time. So I'm back to the point about, at the end of the day, it takes so much to build a business that's going to free you. You know, the Bible talks about a unstable mind, right? Or a split mind. You need laser focus to build this business. You're doing something you've never done. You're building a business that is going to provide for you lock, stock, and barrel. And you already have a challenge. We all do. And I was a JP Morgan Chase executive for 16 years. My challenge was charging my worth. It's very difficult to reconcile that when you got a nonprofit over here and you're giving everything away.
Okay.
So first and foremost, my advice to you is nonprofits come after you've made a profit.
Okay.
That same thing you giving away for free, somebody somewhere will pay you tens of thousands of dollars for it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't help nobody before you help yourself. So how you look going to a job every day and doing a nonprofit, and then you help them get a good job, and then you look up, they done started a business and left their job, and you still at your job.
I got you.
So the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure you're laser focused on building a business. The second thing you need to do is get some help, because what looks like 24 may not be 24 months if you get some professional help. But if you was my client, I'm gonna tell you, nobody starts off juggling two balls. You learn to juggle one ball at a time. So until you've mastered juggling that one ball, what you trying to juggle multiple balls and work a job for? So I think you should focus on your for-profit first, making it profitable, then automating it, and then build your nonprofit. And then that becomes that tax shelter for the millions of dollars you about to make.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
And I know I'm a tough coach, but y'all be hard-headed sometimes. And here's the thing. Let me tell you why I'm so tough. Anybody else will be like, oh, girl, that's a good idea, girl. Yeah, hire me so I can help you. And they helping you with foolishness. Part of me being the type of coach I am, I want all my clients to experience 5 and 6 figure launches. And you can't do that when you got a million things in your hand. Put down those things that ain't making you no real money so we can have money to hold the bag, so we can have money to carry the safe, so we can have money to tote these bank envelopes. You can't carry everything, not at one time. Not at one time. You cannot.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot.
As because actually as of today, when I was going through writing out more for my for-profit, a lot of the ideas started to come out. Like I was like just going with my pen, just like really, the ideas really started to flow out just on how things were going to flow and how things were going to get set up. I think the major idea for the nonprofit was more or less a heart to, and I think a lot of where I wanted to put a lot of the pressure, where I wanted to put a lot of the focus was a lot of people, at like Morgan Stanley, and this is the last piece, and I'll get off. But Morgan Stanley, you got to have like 50,000-60,000 liquid in order for any financial advisor for them to even look at you. And a lot of our people don't have that money liquid because we don't have any budgeting or anything in place to help us.
I agree. But if they don't have it now, 2 years from now, when you make all your money, they still gonna need what you got. The word said everything has a season, sis. Everything. This is not the season for that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't free nobody until you free yourself.
That's good. That's good. I appreciate that. That's good.
And make sure you sign up for that Fight for Your Money boot camp so you can learn to see how to structure some of what you're offering so that you don't end up underpricing or overworking in that new brand you're developing.
Okay. I'm gonna go back also on your website. I definitely want to connect with you. So please definitely look for me because I'm looking for you. And I'll be in close contact for sure.
Girl, I got a whole team of people looking.
Very, very good. Thank you so much.
Trust me, I got 35 people looking. Click a link and see who pop up.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Guys, I'm serious about what I'm saying. Your biggest commodity is your time. Be careful how you give it away for free, especially when you don't have everything you need to live your life the way God intended. That's a lot. I'm gonna let you hold that. Hey, Rebecca, welcome to the Clubhouse platform. Guys, if you have any questions on Facebook or in the Zoom room, let us know. If you could ask us what you need, what your question, or give us your comment. If you could confine it to 60 seconds, that would be great.
Yes, ma'am, Donnell. Me okay?
I can.
Okay. It's a blessing and a pleasure to even have met you. I met you for the very first time in one of the rooms with Dr. J. Oh my gosh, you guys did the coffee and conversation panel. And you and Dr. Pastor J was just incredible. And I just wanted to put that out there immediately. It is a pleasure to have met you, and I really look forward to working with you and following you now and in the near future. So, sis, I was reaching out today because I am an entrepreneur. I am a goal, GOAL getter. I run 2 businesses. And I guess my main question is that I want to be able to access funding that I know is to help my businesses grow. My first business, Donnell, is a lead, LEAD, a lead generation firm. Companies hire me to market products or services because they don't have the proper sales team in their company to do it. You say earlier, one of the challenges for many people is charging what they're worth. All my clients, when I get a new client, Donnell, I charge a setup fee. The average setup fee just for me to connect with them, to do research, to do the training, to put together scripts is $2,300. Recently, the pandemic last year and the year before, I don't know if it's been just my concerning that they may not pay it, but before I would get that money like it was nothing. That was just a fee for them to pay me to even work with me. And then I would charge an hourly rate, Donnell, to do the work that they are hiring me to do per hour, which was pretty hefty. So then I got into staffing the end of 2019. Now that's my I love staffing. I got connected with a factoring company that was running my payroll. God worked that out. Only had one.
Women don't know what 60 seconds is, do they?
Okay, I'm done.
No, go ahead.
So can you please, ma'am?
No, finish telling me. But I'm gonna give you the blues now. You broke the rule. I'm gonna give you the blues, but go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
You know what? I accept constructive criticism. I'm a listener, so whenever you got to tell me, I'm all ears. Go ahead.
The first thing I want to tell you is your pricing is off.
Okay.
That $20 setup fee for the right client is a no-brainer. There's a book you should read. It's called The Game of Life and How to Play.
The Game of Life and How to Play. Who's that?
It's by Florence Scovel Shinn. It's written in like 1954. She has an affirmation that says something like, I do a wonderful work for a wonderful pay. See, when COVID came, if you don't have a business coach or somebody in your face reminding you that somebody somewhere still has the money to pay you, then left to your own devices, you're going to talk yourself, into charging less.
Okay.
You're going to say, girl, ain't nobody got no money. You sitting up watching the news. People is losing their job. But you feel people was steady getting PPP and business loan money. So you're mislead generator. Sometimes you need some help generating the right leads for yourself and packaging your business correctly, because in a digital marketing society, you're extremely underpriced and none of us work by the hour anymore.
Oh, okay.
That's a big,
know that.
well, you don't, what, who's your coach?
I do have a business consultant.
But you ought to see my team looking like, hey, okay.
No, this is actually, I need to know this. I appreciate you sharing that with me because I didn't know that people didn't work by the hour.
Oh no, ma'am. I don't even do, my consultations are my consultations. I will answer your question. I will finish the work, but we don't do by the hours, baby. I don't need an hour to answer your question. So what happens when I answer your question? We just sit there and mimi chatter. I don't have time for mimi chatter.
Well, I mean, when I say by the hour, Danielle, I mean, so if
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm saying your fees should be results based. If somebody tells you what they want 1,000 leads, when you get 1,000 leads, your job is over.
Okay.
I said, I knew what you're saying. I'm good at what. Don't forget, I spent 9 years in marketing. I know exactly what leads are and how they come about. Okay. If somebody hires you to construct a campaign, when the campaign is constructed, it's over. Whether it take you 7 hours or an hour.
But isn't that consulting, Danielle?
That's not. If they charge, if they pay you to put the campaign together, I just said that. But I'm gonna tell you where else, and I hope you register for that Fight for Your Money boot camp, because I'm gonna show y'all the analogy of 7 figures. One of the reasons you're done for you is so cheap is because all you have is a done for you. You don't have a do it yourself. You don't have a done with you. And the minute you create a do it yourself, and if you don't know what you mean, register for the boot camp. I'm going to show you how to instantly increase your prices. You got to have a do it yourself. You got to have a done with you. And what that does is that pushes the price of your done for you into the luxury lane. And you're making money whether you do it for them or not. You're welcome, because your business consultant should have told you that.
Well, thank you. I sure appreciate that feedback.
Does that make sense what I'm saying? Because everybody doesn't qualify. Everybody doesn't qualify for me to do it for them. My done for you is $60,000. Why is my done for you $60,000? It's designed for you to
All right, look like Coach Froze. She was going ham over there. Going ham, poor lady. Her business coach ain't instructing her right. All right, ladies, what y'all gotta say? Can y'all hear me? All right.
Yeah.
Until Coach unfreezes over there. That was funny. What it was something that caught my attention. Somebody said it in the chat. Let me see.
There's a director Givens who has a question for Coach.
Who's
Yes.
that?
In Facebook, Dorita,
Mhm.
in Facebook.
Okay, one of the ladies asked about over in Facebook too. Someone asked about how do you get in touch with Coach? I put that in the chat. I put both links there. Certainly register for the boot camp at bit.ly moneyfight21. And then if you want to schedule a call with her, you can always go to bit.ly Black Girl Profits call. What was the other question? I can't see it.
The other
It's
question.
Dorita. She said she just started business this month, and wanted to know if there are any government grants that she can qualify for.
Oh yeah, Coach will answer that. One thing you can do, what's her name?
Dorita Givens Glover. So we can
One
post
thing you can do, Miss Glover, on that Fight for Your Money, she is gonna talk about government grants on there. So I would definitely go and register at bit.ly/fightmoney21. And it's $20.21. And I would definitely go there because there's gonna be even better nuggets posted there. So that certainly she'll talk about grants and things at that boot camp for sure. If not even walk you through grants.
Can y'all hear me?
We hear you
Yes,
now,
ma'am.
Coach. Yes, ma'am.
My internet is, I don't know if it's storming outside or.
Somebody else's lights just completely went out. Alicia, I don't think she's here, but her lights completely went out too.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
storming. It's
Yeah,
storming.
something is happening out there. Desiree, I'm glad Coach answered your question about charging a consultant fee and charging a flat fee to do it for them, not by the hour. I'm with Coach. Who gets paid by the hour anymore? That's crazy.
Okay.
I think if we got paid by the hour, I think we charge more. You should
Definitely.
be charging more for sure, because I think we spend a lot of time. 5 minutes, it could take you to do 5 minutes for something, but you still get that money. That's not leveraging. That's not what I said earlier. Make that money your slave. That's not making the money your slave.
So can y'all hear me okay?
We hear
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
Coach.
Okay, thank y'all. I apologize. I don't know if it's storming outside with these internets, and I'm hardwired in, so it's definitely.
Something going on. Desiree said her internet's acting up too.
So guys, what I was telling you, Rebecca, is that my done for you is $50,000, but it's designed. It's the low end is 50. It's a $60,000 version. It's designed to save you a year, right, of having to do it yourself. All the frustration, all the anxiety of doing yourself is to set you up for a 5 to 6 figure launch. Your first time out, it's worth what it's worth. So if you generate 1,000 leads for me, how much is that worth? Depending on the cost of my product, right?
Yes, ma'am. It varies. It varies. I'm trying to be mindful here because I know we already went over my time. I mean, I need to connect with you so we can have a one-on-one, because I mean, I certainly don't mind investing and doing that with you, because we certainly don't have enough time, and you're so instrumental right now. I'm hearing things from you I've never heard before. So I really like to try to find a way to connect with you after this.
Absolutely. All you have to do is you can either DM me on Instagram,
okay,
or go to www.blackgirlprofits.com, and there's a link on the page right there to schedule a call.
All right, because I can listen to you all day, but I mean, like you said, I only have a certain amount of time, and I kept on losing you. You were saying some really positive, made a lot of positive points, and I really do need to try to get this down. Now I'm going to start my business in a whole different way, because I should be making more money than what I'm making. So I'm going to leave it at that. I appreciate you, Dr. Darnell. Thank you so you've shared thus far with me. And thank you, Monique, for hanging in there with us.
Thank you, Rebecca, guys. And make sure if you haven't already signed up for the Fight for Your Money boot camp, if you think today is crazy, if you go to my Instagram link in my bio, bit.ly/moneyfight21, I'm going to show you some things you guys have never seen as it relates to really getting it in with your revenue. So let's talk about, guys, we're back to the list. The
Coach,
9
can I
ways.
get you? Can we have a question from Dorita Givens Glover on Facebook? She just started a business this month and wanted to know if there are any government grants that she can qualify for.
Not necessarily government, but definitely grants. One of the things that we do, even in my membership, we have a grant search team. Actually, we meet tomorrow. We meet with them once a month and we do nothing but search for and apply for grants because we know many hands make light work. Every week, there's somebody in my community that wins some type of grant money. This week, they got credits for Facebook ads, I think $1,500. Aaliyah is here. She is the manager of our grant search group. Last week, somebody got the Back to Business FiServ $10,000 grant. Before that, the week before that, I got a notification from PayPal that they were going to give me some more money on the grant they had already gave me. So because we are mindful of the different opportunities that are out there, being mindful puts us in a position to apply for those grants. They had grants for people that knit back when COVID first started. Joanne was giving away grants to crafters. We saw a grant this week for bakers and people that own food trucks and people that are in the food service industry. It doesn't matter. There's grants out there for salon, stylists. It almost doesn't matter what industry you're in. There's some type of grant available. Here's the caveat. You may not qualify sometimes because you're new. Sometimes you may, but keep growing. That's the case for starting your business sooner rather than later. You probably should have been started a business. Aaliyah, I'm glad you're here. I'm going to let you talk through grants because that is one of the things we wanted to talk about as it relates to 9 ways for you to get money for your business.
Thank you, Coach. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for bringing me on the stage. I've been in the background for a bit, but the only thing that I can say is that before I came in the community, I didn't know, I thought you had to be a nonprofit organization in order to get a grant. But working with Coach, we realized that's not true. And every day we have a grant team. They work tirelessly every day finding grants that fit any criteria. Small businesses, individual, African-American women, Native American women. I mean, there are so many grants that are available. There's so much money available, but you have to at least understand and how to apply for them. And that's what we do in our coaching program. Coach follows us, and that's what we'll be doing tomorrow on Sunday, is that we will pick some grants, and most of us will apply for those grants. Now, a few months ago, or right when COVID hit, Coach taught us how to be ready. She taught us what to do to be ready to apply for the grants. Because if you don't have the business checking account, if you don't have the business correct, my goodness, then you're not really a business. But there are so many opportunities. And with Coach, she's told us what to do. She takes us step by step. I'm in the Platinum membership. I gladly pay the money because you don't know if you don't know. If you get declined, get back up. Try it again. But this is what we do every day. We post grants every day, different grants. And when 2021 hit, we thought, oh my goodness, grants are drying up. They have become so plentiful. We need, 30 people on our team just to do the research. So it is true. There is money out there and it's other people's money. If you need money to start your business, build your business, keep your business afloat, you need to come in our community. I forgot what the link is, but because someone help me with the link, but you need to come in to our community and learn how to apply for these grants.
Guys, thank you, Aaliyah. And I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions if you're okay. Guys, one of the bonuses I want to give you for signing up for this Fight for Your Money boot camp, I have a webinar and a checklist of how your business should be set up to not just qualify for grants, but to qualify for sponsorships and for business credit. I want to give that away as a bonus for those that register for the Fight for Your Money boot camp. So if you have not already registered, go to that link. It's $20.21. Anybody that knows me will tell you anything that I do is worth 100 times that. You sitting out here getting free information today is worth 100 times $20.21. And I already told you earlier, if you don't learn something to grow your money acumen, your money vernacular, your money language, I give you $20 back in 20 more. But I promise you, if you sit still with an open mind and first admitting to yourself that you don't know what you don't know, and that you should not be working as hard as you're working and still coming up short, you got to make that admission first. So bit.ly/moneyfight21, because you got to fight for your money. Was there another question in the Facebook, or anybody in the clubhouse have a question about what we've talked about so far? Grants, crowdfunding, minority-owned business money.
We have a Zoom question, Coach, from Jacqueline Williams. She set up a new for-profit business as a speaker consultant to develop community engagement programs. It's a small, mid-sized nonprofits. She's made $1,500 and didn't know what to do to register for the boot camp.
So to register for the boot camp, I think she registered already. That may be an old question because she came back and asked for the link.
Okay.
But if you haven't registered already, to you guys again,
And I can post it.
/moneyfight.
Yeah, that was her comment.
Or you can go to the link in my Instagram bio, and the link is right there.
I posted in the chat.
And you're gonna learn a lot of that, Jacqueline, at the boot camp. I'm gonna give you guys the anatomy of a 7-figure website in the boot camp, and what drives what drives me to 7 figures. And again, I can only give you the formula, and at that point, you can say to yourself, yes, I want to bake the cake, or no, I don't want to bake the cake. Period. Yes, paid by the hour is horrible. So, Aaliyah, people.
I wanted to chime in something, Coach, just to let them know how simple the grants are.
I was just going to talk about this, so you were right on time. Because I think when people think grants, they think nonprofits and books of paperwork. And go ahead and take it away, MJ.
It's not. Let me tell you, there are grants as simple as enter your email and share this, $500. There are grants that we've researched in the grant team for musicians. You know, musicians are suffering, not being able to do concerts and things of that nature. As simple as create a jazz concert and sell tickets online, $10,000. There are grants, and there are some that they will ask questions, but there are questions that you should know. Who's your target market? What's your business mission? What's your business vision? If you don't know that, like, you definitely need to, one, get wise counsel, find you a business coach. It's tax deductible. People want to look at it as I'm spending money, but you got to invest in yourself in order to get the knowledge you need. So think of it that way, instead of saying, oh, I got to pay $20.21. Guess what? That's $20.21 you could write off for your business. But those grants out there are grants that they're unbelievable. Plant a garden in your backyard. $1 million grant. Planting gardens. If I knew how to garden, I'd get out there and plant a garden tomorrow. I don't know how to garden though. But I mean, there are grants. Even one of our community sisters just got a $10,000 grant within 3 days. 3 days. So it's not as hard as you think. One lady asked me, should I hire a grant writer? Hire a grant writer to do what? You're gonna give her the information that she's gonna type in, so you can do it. It's not a hard thing. Even in our community, one thing I love about our community, we always give in resources. In our community, we have a grant tracker form. So every time that you find a new question on a grant that wasn't on another grant, you're gonna copy and paste that. So next time you fill out, you're gonna copy, paste. That's how simple it is. It's not a hard thing. It's just getting that knowledge. And I see Coach brought CJ to the stage. I would love for Miss CJ to come in and just give some tax deduction answers, because a lot of people think that they're giving that money away, but in turn, I mean, you're really doing your business a service. CJ, take it away for a minute for us. Tell them about how they can write that stuff off.
Thank you, CJ. Hey, this is the lady that helped me get all of my grants, my PPE. So CJ, go right ahead.
How is everyone doing? Y'all let me know if there's a feedback.
I don't hear
Come out
one.
of Clubhouse.
Okay.
There you go, CJ. Now, you got to unmute first.
That'll do it.
That'll do
Thank
it.
you. Is that better now?
That's much better.
Oh, thank you so much. I am so excited over here. I am like screaming with excitement. I'll calm down. Thank you so much, Coach, for this opportunity. Thank you all so much. Yes, as a business owner, as a woman in business, you have the right to deduct your investment. We think in our mindset that we think we're spending money. It's not spending money. You're actually investing the money. And when you invest into coaching and you invest into business, those expenses are tax deductible. So when they're tax deductible, you're not really spending. You're investing because you're getting the money right back off of your tax return. So that puts a whole nother mindset shift, a whole different paradigm shift for you as a business owner to say, okay, I'm going to really do this. I can really do this. Not only when I invest the money, but I get the money right back when I file my taxes.
Somebody said in the chat, misinformation have you thinking that applying for a grant is hard. Coach gives you great detail and information. And that's absolutely right. So many of us leave ourselves out of opportunity because we listening to somebody that ain't never really done too much, telling us that we can't do something. They probably telling you that you can't do something because they couldn't do it. Amen. Or when they tried to do it that one little time, it didn't work out for them. Guys, I'm going to challenge you to stop real quick because we're sharing information that will break generational curses on poverty. We're sharing information that will level the playing field for minority and women business owners. We're sharing information that can catapult your business to the next level. If you've not shared this in every group, if you've not pinged at least 10 people and text 10 people to come listen to this conversation, you're part of the problem. I don't mind saying it. If you drop off, that's you missing this information. But this is information to heal the nation. Because anytime a nation has as big a disparity and discrepancy between who makes what, that's a problem. Whether it's because of your gender, your sexual orientation, or the color of your skin, it does not matter. Anytime you have a nation where the money is not being distributed equally based on talent and gifts, it's a problem. So I'm going to pause for the cause and let you share. Because if you're getting this information and consider the cost of admission to spend a Saturday afternoon with me, it's worth you sharing it broadcast. But as CJ just said, this is why people come from other countries and become millionaires in the United States, because the rest of those countries don't let you just automatically write off your business expenses. And let me tell you, you might have to reposition. I had a client who cut off her cable. She said, Coach, I'm going to spend my cable money with you for a year. She said, I've had clients who cut off their extracurricular expenditures. I've had clients stop getting their hair done, stop getting their nails done. You may say, well, that's a big sacrifice, but baby, it's a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain.
Coach, that goes back to thinking, what's Napoleon Hill's, what we just read, The Richest Man in Babylon?
Yeah.
You got a budget. You cannot let your paycheck eat everything. If you want your money to be a slave, you got to budget. And giving up a few things, I wouldn't even think of it as giving up. I think of it as just changing for a little while, because when you get that bankroll, you're gonna be able to add that and some. So I somebody asked the other day the question of how does, if you, I think you Coach, you said if you were to receive $10,000 today for your business, how would that make you feel? How would that do? For me, I think when I have money, I sit up straighter.
Come on now.
I have money. Look, when I have money, I walk a lot differently. And it just, not to say it's not, people, I think, get it biblically incorrect, because they say, money is the root of all evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. So when you put money prior to God, that's when it becomes evil. Money is what makes the world turn. You gotta eat, you gotta sleep, people gotta buy. It's business and services. That's our economy. So I don't know where the negativity of money come from, but look at here. I want my bankrolls to look different. And Coach said she made a comment about the lady that didn't do her cable for a year. I can correlate that to sitting under Coach for 1 year. If you don't come out on the other side and probably quadrupled that hair money every week, it's your fault. That's not Coach's fault. That's purely your fault. She's gonna give you all the tools. And when I say all the tools to be able to get you where you need to go, it's gonna be up to you to move.
And it always is. It always is, guys. So much money, millions of dollars hang in the balance, whether it's millions of dollars that you earn. Next weekend, we're going to be focused 100% on building profits. The next weekend, we'll come back and talk about startup capital again. And then we're going to go into the boot camp and really get behind the scenes and deep into your mind and your wallets about what do you really want? And what is it worth to you to have it? If I had somebody to show me y'all half of what I show y'all, baby, come on now. Somebody said, do grants cost money to apply for, or do they have a fee to fill out the application? There's only one grant that I know of that charges you. That's that Amber grant. I think they charge you $15.
Yep, it's $15, Coach.
It is 15. Coach, earlier we did have a question on Facebook. I did answer them, but for somebody in the audience, they may want to know too. Doretta Givens Glover asked, how does one become your client?
You know, we have to assess what you need and where you are in your business, and of course, how fast you want to go. I tell people that one of the things that makes my business brand so profitable is that we have something for everybody. And it's exactly what I explained to Rebecca earlier. We have a do-it-yourself model where we give you a little information and say, here's the information, go do it yourself. We got a done with you model where we say, here's the information, and we're going to walk with you part of the way. And then we got a done for you model where we say, okay, what do you want? Bam, it's done. And so it's all up to that individual as to what they really want and how quickly they want it and how much they're willing to invest. It's levels to this stuff. Trust and believe.
Okay, then we had another question that says, I would like to sign up for the boot camp. Can I go back and watch it because those are days that I work?
Everything we do, guys, has replays. So if you sign up the boot camp, once the boot camp is over, you're going to get all of the replays packaged up and delivered to you for you to be able to watch forever. So absolutely, you miss anything, we got you on the replay. Every once in a blue moon, it might be a little piece of technical difficulty that'll keep. Other than that, baby, we have everything. I got years and years of broadcast and boot camps and everything else on replay.
I don't see any other questions as of now.
Can I tell y'all an alarming figure?
Let's hear it.
Most women in business fail to scale their businesses beyond $50,000 a year. And when it comes to African American women in business, that number gets even more frightening because most of them fail to scale their businesses beyond $27,000 a year. Somebody say, ouch.
Ouch.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
You want to know why? We're so hard-headed as women, and it's not our fault. We've been taught we're super women. We've been taught we can do it all. We've been taught we don't need no help. We've been taught all of these things that come back to bite us in the rear. So first of all, we've been taught not to trust each other. We've been taught not to trust people. You got to have a level of trust to be able to bring people on board, hire people, and get the work done. In $1 million empire, you can't do it all by yourself. You cannot. In $1 million empire, you're going to need some help. Another thing, we think we know everything. And yes, women are super resourceful, but at some point you need a strategy, a proven strategy that works. That's number 2. Number 3, we let us get in our way. We so busy listening to what our aunties them said about us and what our last man said about us and what pastor and them, the women at church said about us. We carrying all of this stuff that other people said about us and harboring it so close to our chest that we done forgot what God said about us. We don't remember what he said. And then when we get weak, we try to carry that too. When we get weak, we try to carry that too. We don't get it back over to him. We don't lean on the everlasting arm. Amen, Gator. So
Coach, you got Desiree so excited. She on the Amber Grant now, applying right now. So we're gonna hear something back from her. I'm sure she's gonna come back and give us some feedback on that.
So guys, we got to realize that as women, we can't do it all by ourselves. I remember, and I don't know if y'all remember this or not, and then we'll go on and let CJ tell us some more about these tax deductible things in business, because that really is number 10. 10 is tax deductions. That's how you build your business with other people's money. I'm going to actually make this a lead magnet. Look at how quick I did that. 10 ways to build your business with other people's money. Hello? That was good, wasn't it?
Yes.
I don't know if you guys remember, but when I was little, my grandmama and my mama had a network of women friends. Before Twitter, before Facebook, and before the gram, my mama knew when the Walmart layaway was gonna open. My mama knew when the bank's Christmas fund was gonna open, because that's how my mama did Christmas every year. She put $5 or $10 every time she got paid into the Christmas fund. Anybody know about that? Okay. So for 52 weeks, she put $10 into that Christmas fund, and we had a big Christmas every. She didn't go out and run up no debt. She didn't go out and rob Peter to pay Paul. Everything she bought was.
I think the weather over there is getting bad. I could see it coming.
Definitely.
CJ, what part of the you in Houston, huh?
Yes, I am, and it is. I've been, that's why I've been off mute, because it's been the same thing. I've been getting the alert. But yes, I remember, until Coach comes back on, I remember my grandmother, and you know, we from being from New Orleans, you know, everything is about cooking and eating. Everything we do. So my grandmother definitely would get on the phone and talk about she found peppers 5 for $1. You know, bell peppers 5 for $1, and who have a good sale on this, a good sale on some red beans. So yes, that, and I see where Coach was going with that. We absolutely have to get back to that, because it is truly about community. And if we didn't learn anything about this time, we know that. There she is. I'm gonna go back on.
This internet signal don't want y'all to be free today, y'all.
No, it doesn't. And it yeah. We're gonna keep pressing. What the internet streets and what they don't realize is that we relentless over here. Y'all know that's my favorite book. That's Tim Grover right there. We relentless. And what we know about Coach, it don't matter. She'll leave and come out 100 times. But we gonna get this information out. We gonna free these people. We gonna get these grants. We gonna get these PPP loans. But we gonna do something different this year. So all of the technical issues, all of the interferences, you know, after a while they just gotta bow down, because we ain't going nowhere.
And understand it's a part of doing live. That's what live is all about. The live at 2 over here. I don't know if Coach back on, but CJ, I know she did wanted you to talk about additional tax things.
Sure. As far as additional tax breaks, well, first let me just say, and I'm glad you brought that up, MJ, about it kind of answers what Coach was helping us about before, about what we can afford. Listen, I still don't have cable in my house. That's by choice. So I'm successful and still don't have cable. You have to make a decision of not only your why, like Coach talks about, but also what does this mean to you, and what are you willing to give up to get it? When we talk about budgets and when we have these conversations, I'm the one who nobody wants to talk to. Everybody needs to talk to. I'm gonna help you with your money, but the thing is, you have to be honest with yourself, honest with me, honest with Coach, and tell the truth about where you are, because we really can help you. So if you know, and this is why I said before about the mindset, I always ask the question, what is your relationship like with your money? No, money is not evil. But baby, if money is not your best friend, if money is not your babe, and if you don't treat money like that, and you squander it when you get it, or you don't want to be bothered with it until you want it to solve a need, fulfill some type of need for you, then yes, that's exactly how money gonna treat you back. So I'm saying all that to say, just with your budgeting, from something small like that, being intentional. You're like Coach teaches us about writing things down. You have a vision. You make it plain. You bring it to life. Set your intentions. You know exactly what it is as far as the money goes. And yes, if you have to do your own nails for a minute, and yes, you have to turn the cable off. And I'll just add to that. I want to make it real, really real for you all. Some of us have $200 cable bill a month. A year, that's $2,400. Some of us have a $200 nail bill a month, a hair bill a month. That's another $2,400. So if you add that up, let's just round it off to 2,500. I done just showed you $7,500 a month in a year of what you can do what you can do and how you can invest into your business, how you can invest into your future, how you can invest into your legacy. That is your coaching money. That is seed for your coaching money. Just by making small changes. No, we're not telling you to give up everything. We're not telling you to do that. What we are telling you is that you have to do something. And the word, that's why Coach don't really, she can't deal with the word I can't afford. Because we as women, we can afford what we want to afford. I'm just gonna be honest. Y'all know how we do. If the kids need to be fed, kids need to be fed. If the rent needs to be due, rent gonna be due. We shoes, we gonna get them shoes.
Come on now. If the kids need Jordan, we gonna figure that out. If the kids need a mascot uniform, we're gonna figure that out. We gonna figure out all the rest of it. So we've got to figure out what we need to do to make these business investments. Guys, if you haven't already registered for the Fight for Your Money boot camp, you can already tell it's going to be crazy. We're going to be back tonight at 9 p.m. to talk about how you can continue to talk about how you're missing money in your business, because it's just got to stop. It's got to stop if you want to do something differently in your life. So thank you, Selena, for registering. Is there anybody on Facebook or Clubhouse that has questions about the profits in your business directly, or why your business is not profitable? If you want to come to the stage, raise your hand, let us know. If you have a comment, question.
No one's raising their hands in Clubhouse right now, Coach.
Yeah, you know I got my eyes on.
Sorry, Coach.
And guys, it can be what you think may be a basic question, but you'd be surprised how a basic question may be making you miss commas in your business. So if you have any questions or comments, definitely raise your hand and ask, because you won't know if you don't ask. And asking is not, asking does not shed a negative light on you. I have questions in my business every day. Like, how do I move from 7 figures to 8 figures? If you don't ask, sometimes you're not gonna know. Coach, how did you make your first 6 figures? What do I need to do to make my first 7 figures? It's okay for you to ask.
Coach, Erica had a question. She said, may I apply for anything today as a startup for my profit?
See, that's one of the things that we wanted to let you guys know. There's so many grants out there, like thousands. I can't keep them all in my head. That's why you got to belong to a membership or some community that's going to remind you, that's going to pull you to the side to say, you know, go here, go there. Nobody's going to sit up and bring it to you. Coach WC asked me, Coach, are there businesses you suggest we should avoid during this pandemic? In other words, not pandemic friendly. I would say avoid any brick and mortar. If you can't figure out a way to make that money online, I wouldn't put a brick and mortar out there right now. I just wouldn't. Mr. Will said, when will you and Miss Blackmore do one of those community pop-up town halls? We can do that. Let me put that on my list. But yeah, people have these dreams of owning a brick and mortar, and even though they see everything that's going on right now, they still out there trying to build brick and mortars. To which I say, I wouldn't. It's just too many other ways, too many other ways that you can be free. You know what WC said? I'm thinking about a food-related online business right now. Absolutely, as long as it's going to be online, and as long as you understand what it takes to be successful in a food-related business online. So that goes back again to that wise counsel and not trying to just get any idea is a bad idea if you don't have some help with the strategy. Let me say that. Because what happens is we get frustrated. We think it's the price. So we start reducing the prices. We think it's the product. So we start tampering with the product. And all the while, it's our marketing knowledge or our lack of knowledge about social media, or we don't know how to cultivate community. It's a lot of reasons your stuff don't sell. And a lot of times it takes an expert to assess you and say, this is why your product ain't selling. So give yourself the benefit of the doubt in hiring an expert so you're not sitting over there guessing why you're not making money. Welcome to the Clubhouse stage, Karen. You have a question or comment?
Yes, thank you for bringing me up. My question is, I recently got in the process of trying to drop ship e-commerce. And what I'm challenged with is the capital or the funds to run ads to successfully push the different products out there. Where could I start or get the capital to access?
And that's such a shame, because I'm going to give you a couple of places, but Facebook just awarded several of my clients credits for ads. Facebook had a whole big giveaway where they gave away $2,500 worth of cash and $1,500, I think it was, in ad credits. I missed mine because I had a number wrong on my paperwork. 100% my fault. I wasn't even mad. But that's that I'm trying to do things and I don't have the community or the knowledge or the business connections to do them. Because whoever sold you that drop shipping class, I'm sure they made it seem like it was so easy. But guys, you can't sell ice cubes in hell if you ain't got a community. Do y'all want me to repeat that?
Not the ice cubes in hell,
You can't
coach.
sell water in a desert if you don't have a community. And even with setting up ads to your products, if you don't know what you're doing, Facebook ads is like a slot machine. Will drain your pockets dry and you won't have a nickel. And you'll be wondering where your money went. Guys, I know, it's not your fault. These companies, these people, these experts make it seem like, oh, just do this and you're going to make millions of dollars. If it was that easy, y'all, wouldn't everybody be doing it? So number one, where's your business credit?
I have not applied for any business credit because, again, that was not mentioned. It said the way it was presented is we can run Facebook's ads as at the low end level of like $3.33. But I found that, if it's depending on how Facebook puts your ads out there, you can still incur quite a bit and never make a sale.
Guys, I just did a Facebook ads class with the agency that runs my Facebook ads. There's so much you need to know about the algorithms, about targeting, about warm audiences, cold audiences, building a list, pixels. There's so much you need to know about Facebook advertising before you get out there and spend $1. So yeah, they're gonna present it to you like, yeah, you can only spend $3 a day. Guys, I'm gonna go back to this, and I'm gonna charge you with using your intuition. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Even with these grants, we have to apply for grant after grant after grant after grant. I may apply for 30 grants to get one for $10,000, but I don't mind applying for 30. What else am I doing? So there's nothing, y'all, that you can just invest $4 or $5 in and it grow like that. It just doesn't work like that. And I'm sorry. So one of the things you may want to look into doing, first of all, stop doing things that are not your pleasure, that are not your purpose, that are not your gift. So is drop shipping what you think God put you here to do?
I can't say that it is. It was something that presented to me, and I thought it would be not necessarily easy, but it would get. I work from home already, so I figured that would be the next best thing when I was trying to look for something else to do.
If you walk in what God purposed you to do, I make over $1 million a year doing what God purposed me to do. I don't need nothing extra. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
He's gonna give me more than enough inside what I'm doing that I don't need to do something just for extra. So the first start, if you want to fix your money and have something that's sustainable, it takes you just as much energy and effort to maintain a side hustle as it does for you to just go on and hustle. Go on and just free yourself. Go on and just build a real business. I think we use the side hustle connotation to keep ourselves from being accountable for results. Did everybody hear that? Long as we call it a side hustle, so to speak, we ain't got to be accountable. Y'all come to that Fight for Your Money boot camp. Get you some real goods on how to turn your side hustle into a full-time hustle. Because at some point, you ain't going to want to hustle at all. You got to make hay while the sun shines. Because when night comes, no man can work.
Coach, we got a couple of questions. Marnie's gonna read them over to
Sure,
us.
I'm gonna close Karen out. So Karen, in addition to coming to the boot camp, I encourage you to seek your heart with what it is that really God called you to do and go build that and build it big. And then you won't find yourself torn between a job and a side hustle. Everything that he has for you will be given unto you. Did that help, Karen?
Yes, thank you so much.
Guys, let me tell you something real quick about me. I ain't gonna always tell you what you want to hear, but I'm gonna always tell you what you need to hear. I've had no less than about 30 people come to me with that drop shipping madness that were ill-equipped, not ready. It was presented to them as oh, just go do this. There's no such thing as just go do this for some money. When you get there, you're gonna find out there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. So again, bit.ly/moneyfight. Make sure you're registered for the boot camp, February 9th through the 12th. It's going to be amazing. What questions you got for me, Marnie?
Okay, I'm going to address the one that's in Facebook by W.C. Mackins. It says, Coach, are there businesses you suggest you should avoid during this pandemic?
I answered that one already, Marnie.
Okay, all right. Let's go back.
Off on that one.
All right. There's one anonymous in the chat. Do you know of someone that can coach them as they writing their business plan?
That's something we do as part of my community. We just did it the other night. We just did it. I just gave them templates to write their business plan. We talked about short business plan. We talked about lean business plans. We talked about multi-page business plans. And we talked about when you need them. One of the things I try to do for my clients is keep them from having to run around and try to find who to do business with. So if it's not something I do, I tend to give them a resource. Go here and use this resource. Not only does it save you time, money, and energy, but it's part of being in a community. I think I seen somebody raise their hand. Jamila, did you raise your hand?
I did. Can I be heard?
I can heard you.
Oh, hey, okay.
Hey.
I'm loving this, and I just I lowered my hand and started typing because I didn't hear anybody else talk. But here's the thing: I am a journalist. I am a radio show host, and the stories that I tend to do focus on mostly Black people in Washington, D.C. So I have that, minority women niche or whatever. I've been a sole proprietor for a long time.
The other day?
No, this is my first time. I've been in your rooms in Clubhouse, but you might have heard me in another room, but I have not talked to you.
Okay. Go ahead.
So my question is this. Honestly, since like Thanksgiving getting on Clubhouse, it just occurred to me that I could look at turning my journalism into an actual business. That's how a whole lot of these, other people who aren't as good at telling stories that wind up being right. I'm looking at Nate Silver and 535. But I see all these other people getting millions of dollars in investment to not even do half of as good as I'm doing. And I just feel very stuck in that I don't know what step one to say, okay, well, let instead of me being a freelancer working for other people, how do I turn me into an actual full-time business?
I swear to you, the lady on Clubhouse the other day mentioned Nate Silver too, because that was you?
That was definitely me. I'm so mad about him.
I told you, girl. I talked to you before. Let me tell y'all something about my memory.
Because that was definitely me complaining about Nate Silver. Yes.
You made me go look that white man up because I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, called every presidential race, the past 3 of them wrong, and gets,
And you know,
know,
record is
millions
better
of dollars. Yeah.
Didn't you tell me that?
Yes, I did.
I went to a conference once. I don't know if y'all know who Paul Brunson is.
Yes.
If you don't, he's amazing. He's amazing. He's one of these people that's amazing in real life too. And it's funny for him to tell you the story about how he competed with me at this speaking event, which I didn't know we was competing. He was trying to beat me. Like, who is this stealing all the limelight? And you know, but I'm finna sit and learn. But Paul Brunson at one of his conferences says he needs to start acting like mediocre, middle-aged white men. He said every woman he knows, regardless of, needs to start acting like middle-aged, mediocre white men. We run around with our head between our tails. We run around as not good enough. We run around with our emotions on our sleeves. I bet he's got a mentor, Jamia. I bet he's got somebody guiding him on how to make his money. I bet he is invested in his business, and I bet he's not over there trying to figure it out himself. I can bet you money. There's this club called, I think it's called the Tiger Club or Tiger 21. I sent it to y'all the other day. And it's majority Caucasian white men. You have to have $10 million in liquid assets to join. And I think it costs $100,000 a year. Can you imagine the amount of knowledge that's being shared in that room? And to what? Where's the rooms for women? Where are they? Where are the rooms for the people that don't know? Because I tell you, more than black and white, it's about rich and poor. There's a big division of knowledge between the people that know and the people that don't know. And so my question to you is, what help have you sought? Jamila?
I do need to do that. You know, I've been asking small little people. I need to go ahead and ask the bigger names that I know I could reach out to.
Why you don't set up a consultation and ask me? God has delivered you to me 2 times. You ain't even realize it.
Okay.
How many more times is he gonna send you back to that same deliverance before you get it? You see this, MJ?
So I done signed up for the boot camp. I did this. I'ma do the boot camp, but
you need to set up a consultation. You need to set up a call.
Okay. So
is her internet froze?
It might.
Yours is fine, Jamila.
Okay, good. So, consultation. Tell me how I do that, and then other people can listen into, and I'm sure I'm not the
only chats.
Lovely, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna set up a consultation. Here we go. And wait, I don't see. Hold on, I'm in the Zoom chat. So
yes, ma'am. That's where it is. You see it?
Okay. What do I need to scale for?
It's Black Girl Profits with an S. www.blackgirlprofits.com. And on that page, it says schedule a call.
Excellent. Okay. Scheduling a call now.
I'm going to be on the lookout for you.
I don't set it in front of everybody. I have to do it because
how many more times he going to bring you this way, girl? He keeps putting you in my lap. I'm like, now, wait a minute now. Yeah, that internet is doing its thing in Houston today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
We're gonna get you up there with Nate Silver. We're not gonna let him be the measure. One of the reasons, guys, I bought up business credit was because what most people don't know is your business credit is not tied to your personal credit. It's just not. So a lot of people are afraid of business credit because they're afraid to learn something new. But your business credit and your personal credit are not tied together, just so you know. Questions in Clubhouse? So we're talking about different ways for you to start, grow, or build your business. We talked about crowdfunding. What's the right way to do a crowdfunding campaign? We talked about, of course, becoming a minority-owned business. We talked about tax deductions. We talked about government funding. We talked about business credit. We talked about grants. Whew. I think it's time for a break. I think we did a good job.
Terry just asked a question about how do you build business credit?
It starts off with that. I'm going to give you guys a bonus on how to build your business the right way, because building business credit is really just an exercise in paperwork. You start with making your business credible on paper, and I'm going to give you guys that signed up for the boot camp that checklist. And once you've made your business credible, you start from there with small accounts at a time, and you just grow up. It's not even brain surgery. So if you haven't signed up for the boot camp so you can get that bonus information, make sure you go to bit.ly/moneyfight21 so you can get that bonus. You'll be surprised what you set up wrong and how easy it is to correct it. But again, you don't know what you don't know. And they're using very small things to disqualify us from the next level. They sure are. And a lot of myths and a lot of lies. So we're going to be back at 9 o'clock tonight to talk about how you're missing money in your business. I have a special presentation that's probably going to start about 9:30, 9:45 on Clubhouse, Facebook Live, Periscope. I'm going to try to get on Instagram tonight. Any last questions before we go?
There was one in the Zoom chat, wanted to know how to scale their business to a 7-figure brand.
Oh wow! Who said it? Let me see what that question was. That's my language right there. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, Angela, is Angela still here? I need to know what your business is. Hey, MJ, you bad girl. I told you this internet.
Y'all sent that stuff way out here on the north. I don't know what y'all doing over there.
Don't put that on me.
Y'all sent it out here to me.
Angela, I'm going to let you talk so you can tell me what your business is, because every business scales differently based on who you are, what your industry is.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
This is Angela again. from Clubhouse earlier. I'm a credit score improvement specialist.
So you asked how to scale your business, but you haven't started yet. You know, I remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all keep playing with my memory, girl.
I did schedule a consultation though for Monday.
Very good. But you do have to get started. You understand what I'm saying? You do have to start somewhere. And you don't go, just like you don't go from 0 to 100, you also don't go from $0 to $1 million. Until you make some mistakes, you don't even know what you, till you get started, you don't even know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. In corporate America, we do what we call SWOT analysis. Your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Until you even start. And I challenge you to get started before you try to say scale. That's like me saying, how can I grow? And I haven't even gotten started yet.
Okay.
So your first step is going to be making some money to invest in your business. Because we talked earlier about what your limitations are. Right?
Yes.
I remember that too. Mm-hmm. So part is, how many people can you bring on board at once to help? And using that money to not only free yourself, but also to help you move the needle in your business.
How many people I can bring on board? Okay.
You need to know the numbers. How much are you going to charge? How many people do you need? How much money do you need to live without assistance every month? And then how many clients is that? How many is that a month? How many does that mean you're going to get a week? How many are you going to get a day? Where are you going to get them from? What are you going to do? You gotta take action.
Okay. Yeah, the structuring part is yes.
Without action, you don't even know what works and what don't work.
Okay. Okay, so I'm ready. We I guess meet Monday. That would help. I think that'll help me.
Just FYI, I ain't gonna tell you nothing no different I just told you.
Oh, no, I was saying I was gonna have the answers ready, but okay, I'll follow you.
Until you do something, until you take action, what am I gonna tell you?
Gotcha.
Save your call, mama. Until you're ready to go. At least save your call to after that boot camp.
Okay.
That's gonna open up a whole another set of questions, and you ain't gonna be on my phone every week for free. That I can tell you. When you do a discovery call with me, that's not a free coaching call. That's to discover how we gonna work together.
Okay. So what you just discussed, I need to have an understanding of before we decide on working together.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
And yes, Stephen, she is I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm telling y'all, my phones is dying and everything else. But yes, she's a credit specialist, Stephen. We had talked to her earlier. So I just want to make sure I gave my final call, last call for alcohol, last call for alcohol. MJ, don't do it. Don't give me MJ.
I don't know if you answered this while I was in my disconnect mode, but Miss Jamila, I don't know what form she was going to fill out. You did? Oh no,
she said she was the one from the other day She been in my clubhouse, and I asked her, how many more times is God gonna bring you back this way? I said,
And
"Did I
they,
teach you
and
to
what they say, Jesus, you letting me drown. He said, I sent 5 boats after you.
right?"
You
She
keep
said,
passing.
didn't I talk to you the other day? She said, mm-mm. Then she started telling me her story. I say, girl.
But she said when she filled out the form, it didn't give her a date and time option for a call.
They'll reach
So,
out to her, I think.
okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. All right, guys, we'll see you at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. We love you. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already registered for the boot camp, go to bit.ly/moneyfight21. Get your name in the hat. It's going to be amazing. And we'll see you guys at 10 p.m., 9 p.m.